Hey everyone, it's Rita with Everything Homemade, and in this video I'm going to show you what my family goes crazy over, these meatballs that I make. And I put a couple of secret ingredients in here that may sound weird, but the end result is simply amazing. Before we get making these meatballs, check out the website at everything-homemade.com. There you'll find the Everything Whole Wheat Sourdough Cookbook is available on pre-order. Take a little look. Step-by-step pictures, lots of different recipes. I mean, we're talking sourdough cheese twists, we're talking about pizza dough, we're talking crepes and flatbread and waffles, pancakes, you name it, even sourdough pasta, step-by-step instructions, desserts, we're talking lemon cake, sourdough brownie, sourdough layer cake, buttermilk cakes, cinnamon rolls, pie crust, crisp crust, butter tarts, sugar cookies, everything made with sourdough. So if you would like 10% off this book, order now, as the books are going to be shipped in less than a month. So get that order in before this sale comes off. You can also order Everything Stevia, and if you would like both books, they come in a bundle on the website. Everything Stevia is still available, over 160 recipes, jam-packed with information about stevia. This is your go-to book if you want to use stevia as your main sweetener. You can also join me on a private group on Facebook, Homemade Homesteading Mastery. I'll be happy to see you there. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get making these meatballs. To start with, preheat your oven to 400 Fahrenheit. I have 2 pounds of ground deer here. Now you can use any kind of ground meat you like. And to this, I am going to add in 2 eggs. I'm just going to take my fork here and just beat them. Okay, now what we're going to do is I am going to add in 2 tablespoons of tomato powder, and I showed you how to make this tomato powder before, and basically we're slicing tomatoes, putting them in a dehydrator till they're crisp and right dry, putting it into the blender and making tomato powder. So we do this with our tomatoes from the garden. And about a tablespoon of some garlic powder, about a tablespoon of paprika powder, and then I'm going to add in a 1/4 of a cup of ground flaxseed. I really enjoy using the flax over the oats. Ever since I started doing that, the meatballs are just so good. But this isn't the secret ingredient. This is just an ingredient that works really good over the oats. Now what we need to do is just mix this up. So I'm going to start with my fork first. Okay, I'm just going to switch off to my hands here. And once it's all mixed, then it's ready to form into the meatballs. I have a well-loved lasagna dish here. This is one of my bigger ones. This is a 4-quart lasagna dish. Now you can make these meatballs any size you like. I usually go like a golf ball size meatball. And basically, start putting them in the lasagna dish. And I am butting them up to each other. I got one more here and we just gotta squeeze this one in somewhere. It's gonna go right there. Now we need to get these meatballs in your 400 Fahrenheit oven for 30 minutes. Okay, meatballs are done. So now we need to put in some ingredients into our slow cooker and then transfer the meatballs into it. Now into our slow cooker, we are going to add in a half a cup of tomato powder. Now if you don't have tomato powder, you can use basically just over a cup of tomato paste. There we go. Oh yeah. Then what we're going to do is add in our secret ingredient. This is our secret ingredient, pickle juice. Never ever throw away the pickle juice from your jars. I keep it. And it makes these meatballs so tender, so flavorful, it's unbelievable. So I got 4 cups of it. Now I'm gonna whisk in my tomato powder with my pickle juice. You might not have to do this step if you're using just paste out of the can. Now I'm gonna add in a half a tablespoon of salt. And I have another secret ingredient. So I like making meatballs when I got all these leftovers in my fridge. This doesn't look like much, but this is sausage dripping. So we make homemade sausages, and this is a couple weeks worth, and it keeps for a long time in the fridge. But every time we make sausage, this wonderful flavorful juice comes from the sausage, and I always save it, always. So this is like jam-packed full of flavor. In it goes. So that's about 3 cups. And then to top it all off, I have some broth here. So this is actually beef broth and a little bit of duck broth. Again, I'm basically cleaning up my fridge from the week. And that's about 8 cups. Alrighty, now what we need to do is transfer our meatballs into here. And definitely pour in those drippings too. Oh yeah. Okay, so we have lots of layering of flavors here. So now what you want to do is place the lid on it and turn it on low for about 5 hours. And then after 5 hours, we are going to remove the liquid and we're going to reduce it. And so it becomes a really flavorful, thick reduction sauce to go over these meatballs. Time to let these meatballs cook on low for 5 hours. Okay, meatballs are done. So the next step we need to do is we need to get these meatballs out of the slow cooker. So I'm just going to transfer them into the bowl. Yeah. Okay, I don't feel any more meatballs with my spoon. So now what we need to do is first take a look at those beauties. They hold together so well. So let's just set this aside. And we are just going to get a pot now. I'm going to pour all this broth now into my pot. There we go. And then I'm going to place my meatballs back into the slow cooker. And I'm just going to put the lid on it so they don't dry out. So I'm just going to now set this aside. I'm going to clean up the side of my slow cook. So now what I'm going to do is place this on my stove and reduce it. So now I want to turn this hot plate on high and get this right to a boil. You can actually hear it. It won't take long because my mixture is hot. And I want to reduce this to about 3/4. So I want to reduce this by quite a bit. We're only got a quarter left. That way the flavors of this broth just pop, and it makes these meatballs so delicious. So you can already see it just in the matter of me saying that we're already starting to simmer. So just get this to a boil and then reduce it where it continuously has a good simmer, isn't splashing anywhere, and reduce this for about an hour. So this has been reducing for just over an hour, and you can see how thick it got. So I'm not going to add in any flour or cornstarch or arrowroot. This is just perfect for me. So what we need to do now is to take this wonderful reduced gravy now and pour it over the meatballs. So now I'm just going to straighten out my meatballs here so they're all in this gravy. And then I'm just going to put my slow cooker on warm. And when I'm ready, I will dish these up for supper.